So here's the thing about AI and any technology for that matter is if you try to use it as a hack to get results, you're going to become a hack. Like that's just how it works. You cannot skip the skills that we teach, and you cannot outsource or abdicate your creativity, your ingenuity, your experiences to AI. So think of AI as a partner, as a collaborative partner in creating epic shit, because that's what it does. That's its function. And I think, the skills we teach today, marketing, influence, leadership, all of those are pretty synonymous, really. But they're meta skills. They're skills that will serve you for the rest of your life. And I think we can add to that skill set the ability to interface and interact and collaborate with AI as one of those meta skills that I think everyone needs to learn. And so a lot of people have this misconception about what AI is. First of all, they might think it's ChatGPT. That is a large language model. It does have artificial intelligence abilities, like you can have conversations with it and stuff, but AI is so much more encompassing. Today, I went to jujitsu and came home from jujitsu, and I didn't touch the steering wheel or the gas pedal. How come? Because AI drove me there. I sat back and just watched. It did it all for me. And that's like people don't understand how disruptive in a positive way, and for some people, a negative way, especially those who do not adopt the strategy of being able to work with AI.
Mhm.
But it is the most disruptive technology we will see in our lifetimes. And it's getting better. The curve, the S curve for improvement and the intelligence of machine learning, of artificial intelligence in all aspects is absolutely unheard of historically. We've never seen anything advance this quickly because once you start leveraging artificial intelligence to improve artificial intelligence, it creates this compounding, accelerated effect of just making things go extremely fast. The future is artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And it's not at the place right now where it can replace a human being. And it will never be in a place where it can replace you as long as you understand the skills that we talked about before. Because in an era of AI, when every hack out there is trying to hack AI to become an influencer, a thought leader, or whatever, and throwing out AI vomit on social media, this is the time for you to lean into it to become more efficient using proven frameworks and strategies, but never abdicate your thinking, your creativity, your experiences, what makes you uniquely you to AI. You leverage AI to enhance and amplify those aspects of yourself. And that is how you do it. And you can replace an entire marketing team, you can replace an entire sales team, a creative team now with AI. It's just incredibly, it's leveled the playing field more than anyone. And right now, at this particular time in this S curve, we're in the pre-mass adoption phase. And what's beautiful about that is we have this window of time where we can leverage that. A lot of these bigger companies, a lot of the network marketing leaders, they're not savvy to it yet. And so they're not using it. And those that are trying to use it aren't using it effectively. Again, they're abdicating their thinking to AI, and that's not what it's for. But honestly, if you want to learn AI, I think that's a very smart thing to do. Learn how to speak to it, interface with it, collaborate with it in a way that amplifies who you are. That's a meta skill and one that's worthwhile learning. In fact, it's the most important skill in this new era that we're in if you want to be a digital network marketer and have the kind of leverage and time freedom and be able to really distribute value infused content in a way that nobody else is able to do because they don't understand that skill set yet.
Oh man, so well said. I had a guy ask me this a while back. Are you afraid of AI taking over in airplanes? I'm a former pilot, right? And I'm like, no, I'll tell you. I told him, I'll tell you the same thing I tell my entrepreneur students and my leadership students. When we had an autopilot and we flew with it quite often. You did it because if you didn't fly with autopilot, you become very fatigued, and it actually would turn into a, safety of flight type of issue. So if you're flying just right now, you go fly from East Coast to West Coast, the pilots are going to have the autopilot on pretty much from takeoff to landing, more or less. The reason for that is so they don't get fatigued, and so they can also monitor all kinds of different things and make sure that the aircraft is as efficient as it can, as well as safe. The thing is, those pilots know at every given moment where they are, and if the autopilot ever kicks off, mine kicked off over Afghanistan. Like, it just like let go right before we were going to hit the
Wow.
target. It was like, oh my gosh, it was one of those like holy crap moments, right? So it was one of those things where as a pilot, you're always sort of aware of where you're at, what the aircraft's doing, and where you're going. Same thing in business. Same thing with, especially with network marketing. If you think AI is basically autopilot. It will get you there faster. It'll be really efficient. It'll give you great feedback, great input. You'll have probably better content than you would, perhaps. It gives you great business strategies. I wish we had more time because I would love to get into the strategic advisor that you built for it. Like, that is a whole podcast in and of itself. We should probably do that. That conversation's hilarious, and even a demo for how you made it work for you. Basically, it's just to give you guys, the viewers, TJ built himself a strategic advisor using AI. That's a whole story for another podcast. Stay tuned. But it's like, if you just said, okay, I'm just write my content for me, it's analogous to a pilot not even watching their instruments. And now all of a sudden, instead of being over Topeka, Kansas, you're over the Mediterranean. You're like, how did I get here? I'm almost out of fuel. I'm supposed to be in Kansas. So that's where you got to be really on top of it. And I think, just the way you describe that, it is still a skill-based, it's a tool. That's all it is. If you don't have the skills
Mhm.
to use the tool is just this sort of inert thing that's kind of neat to have, but you're not going to leverage it to the extent that it needs to be leveraged.
Hope you enjoyed our conversation with our speaker. I want to just remind you, if you are ready to stop chasing people and start having people chase you, if you're tired of all the spammy, scammy conversations all the time, you are invited to grab our free 5-day digital bootcamp that will teach you how to attract the right kind of people, create the kind of influence so you can start enrolling those 3 to 7 customers each and every single week. And you can get that at the link below, or you can go to attractionmarketing.com/YouTube.